Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. That's a quote by Warren Buffett, and I'm not sure if you guys have been paying attention, but there is a lot of fear in the marketplace right now. 7% interest rates, everybody wondering, should I jump in? Should I jump out? Should I wait? Should I not? The market's gonna crash. Is it not going to crash? But apart from those conversations that have been happening, it is creating an opportunity for people to jump in, snag a deal, and hold on for the long term. And so for the first episode of this investor series, we're gonna be tackling long-term rental properties, the what, the why, the where, the how, the common mishaps, the best practices, everything in between. This is gonna be a good one. Hope you stay tuned. Let's get into it. Let's start off with the basics, which is going to be the what. What is a long-term rental property? This is simply going to be a property that you buy, you rent out to a tenant long-term. Here in Orlando, when we say long-term, typically that's going to mean 12 months, so a year. In some cases, I have seen Orlando neighborhoods say you can have them stay for a minimum of 7 months, 7.5 months, but really across the board, you're probably going to want to be getting them in there for a year long. And you can do this with a condo, townhome, single family, triplex, duplex, fourplex. It's really gonna come down to your budget. The second piece is why. Why would you want to invest in a long-term rental property? Well, if you're new to the world of investing in real estate, there's a crazy stat out there. 90% of human beings in the past 2 centuries, that's 200 years, have made their wealth and became millionaires through investing in real estate. So that's number one. The tax benefits, which really applies to all of investing in real estate, whether short-term or long-term. The passive income piece is usually what draws people in. You know, having your money work for you. You work 10, 15, 20 years of your life. You have all this money saved up and you want to put it to work for you and build equity, have somebody pay off a mortgage for you. You can turn around, sell that for a huge profit, or you can just keep collecting that passive rental income. So there's plenty of benefits to investing in real estate, period. But let's say you were considering long-term versus short-term. Why would you want to go long-term? Well, the first piece and the biggest piece really is going to be the stability piece. And so I don't know why I'm saying piece so many times, but bear with me. So this is simply, you're going to be able to measure how much you're going to get every single month, right? And so you set a monthly rent amount, and that's say $2,000. Let's say your mortgage is $1,600, and I'm simplifying, but stay with me. You're going to make quote unquote $400 a month, and you'll be able to expect that for at least 12 months, if not greater. And versus a short term, yes, the income potential is greater, no doubt about that. You can make more in the summertime and, you know, more at Christmas, and you can have multiple people in and out every single week, but you are not guaranteed to have that. This is just purely based on if somebody has a business trip, they want to come in, they're on vacation. But as we've seen, there can be an event that stops the whole world. People can't travel to your Airbnb, and you might experience some really shortage of bookings. And so having that long-term rental guarantees you, quote unquote, to have that income for at least 12 months. It's just way more predictable and way more stable. The other piece is, especially as it pertains to Orlando, is you have more flexibility in where you can buy your property. And so if you're buying a short-term rental property, you're really stuck to Polk County, some parts of Osceola County, i.e. Kissimmee, and South Claremont for the most part. When you're buying a long-term rental property, you have options. You can still buy in Davenport, you can still buy in Kissimmee, you can still buy in Claremont, but now you can also buy in Windermere, Winter Garden, Dr. Phillips, Lake Nona, Lake Mary, and all these myriad of other great areas in Orlando that are seeing massive developments in one way or another, which you really can't take advantage of if you're doing short term, because you are restricted in where you can buy a property and rent it out short term. And so this is going to be one of your biggest leverage pieces in buying a long-term rental property. Let's say you believe in Lake Nona, for example, which I talk about a lot on the channel. Somebody who bought a home in Lake Nona in 2013 and rented it out to this day is laughing to the bank. And so you can believe in an area and you can actually buy in there and put your money there. Say if you believe in Horizon West, you believe in the Wellness Way, Claremont area like I referred to back in my previous video, or you like Lake Mary, or you like the stableness of Dr. Phillips and Windermere, you can invest there, unlike say if you were going to buy a short-term rental. Your cost for property management is also going to be lower than than say a short-term rental, because typically Airbnb property managers are looking to charge you anywhere between like 20% or more, and you have fees on top of that. For the long-term rental space, you're looking at about 10% typically here in Orlando, maybe less, maybe more, just depends. But it is going to be certainly less than if you were doing Airbnb investing. And they might charge you also a tenant placement fee, so to get the tenants in there, and that's usually about 50% of first month's rent. And so although your income potential isn't as great as a short-term rental, because you can obviously have multiple bookings within a week and all that kind of stuff, you are also paying less out in fees. And so you can kind of, it's a catch-22. You pay more, you get more; you pay less, you get less. Probably the last thing I'll touch on in terms of why long-term versus short-term is the cost of acquiring a tenant. Now, I talked about the tenant placement fee, but if you compare that to the process in short-term rentals, it's not just about buying a nice house as it might be in a long-term rental space. You already have the location down because you can only buy in certain locations with short-term, but you also have to stand out amongst the crowd. Really, with the long-term space, people are looking for somewhere to live, not somewhere to be wowed and entertained. So how do you do it? Well, if you have cash, you are king or queen. You're in a great position. You have a ton of leverage right now, given the market shift because of interest rates. Somebody who could afford a $500,000 house, for example, could probably now just afford a $400,000 house to have the same payment. And so you, with cash coming in, you have a ton of leverage with homes staying on the market longer, whether that's for investment, by the way, or you're just looking for a home for yourself. Definitely think you should know that. But if you're financing, typically lenders would like to see 20 to 25% down, or if you want to go the FHA route, which is you simply live in the house for a year and then you rent it out after that year period, and then your down payment essentially would be that 3.5%. That's typical of FHA as a minimum. And so those are kind of the ways that you can skin the cat per se. So we just did the how, the what, the where, the why. Let's dive into the best practices and common mishaps and really just get you on a game plan to start long-term investing. Now, the first thing you're going to want to figure out, really, whether you're buying an investment property or not, is going to be your budget. How much you're going to put down. What does that monthly payment look like at this interest rate, at this purchase price? How much money you have apart from your down payment and your closing costs to do rehab and repairs, because that can really dictate the type of house you look at. Because if you can't afford to put $50,000 into a house, then we're not looking at houses that need $50,000 worth of work, if that makes sense. And so apart from figuring that out, then you're going to want to transition into your location. Where are you buying? And not only that, but why are you buying where you are buying? Because yes, you can virtually buy anywhere in Orlando, but it doesn't mean that you actually want to buy anywhere in Orlando. It really is going to depend on what your goals are. So maybe you believe in the Wellness Way area in Claremont, which also aligns with your budget, or you might have a little bit more to spend on a home in Laureate Park because you believe so much in Lake Nona, or you're looking to invest in the upcoming Sunbridge big master plan 24,000 acre project, or you might be looking something small in the downtown area close to the packing district. Maybe you don't want to invest in the next future boom town in Orlando. Maybe you want to go to a more stable area that has a proven track record. A lot of people flock to there, maybe because of schools, jobs in the area, amenities, proximity to certain places, say Windermere or a Winter Garden or Horizon West, even though that's still emerging, or a Dr. Phillips, for example. It really is going to depend on you and what your goals are. Third piece, which is super important, is having the right expectations. It is very easy to under-calculate the amount that goes into getting a rental property. And so you have your acquisition costs, you know, your down payment, your closing costs, rehab costs. Where are you getting those rehab cost assumptions from? Do you have the team in place to take care of those projects? All of that stuff need to be figured out. Do you have vacancy assumptions in there? Your maintenance reserves. Does the community have HOA? Do you have a pool? Do you need to take care of pool care? Are you passing it off to the tenant? There's a lot of nitty-gritty things that need to be tied up when you're looking at how much or how little you're going to be able to cash flow out of a property. And this long-term rental game is just what it says. It's long-term, guys. This is not our get-rich-quick scheme. Really, you're looking at just sustained long growth over, again, a long period of time. I want to stress long because I want you to be okay with the fact that maybe you do make a couple $100 a month. Coming in and expecting to make thousands of bucks a month in passive income, cash flow into your bank account off one property is unrealistic. And so if that's what you're looking for, go invest in crypto or something. I don't know what to tell you, but really, this is the key. Again, 90% of human beings over the past 200 years have made their wealth and become millionaires through this avenue, through investing in real estate. And so whether you're looking to expand your portfolio, or your FHA looking to put 3.5% down, live in it for a year and then rent it out later, or you have that 20 to 25% looking to buy your first, second, or third rental property in the area of your choice, I'd love to be the agent in your corner, just really advising you the best way I know how, and also giving you the most amount of information possible so that you can make the best informed decision on where, why, and how you purchase your rental property. So if you are interested in partnering with me as I am with you, you can book a time, preferably through my Calendly link, which is in the description below, and you can just pick the time that works best for you, and we can have that game plan meeting and get you started. Or you can give me a call or text 479069282, or you can shoot me an email, all of which will be in the description below. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you found value from this video, let me know by hitting the like and hitting the subscribe button. If you want to see more content, go follow me over on Instagram at Orlando with Mario. Feel free to watch my previous video about areas to invest in. And thank you again so much for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. But until then, you stay safe.